School's out. We are happy to still be here. And the strategy of not having enough seats for everyone is to make sure that this program flows nicely, that we can properly honor very worthy people, and I hope that Gaby's going to show up. Okay, good. And there's a lot to celebrate. But before we get to them, you can look afterwards on this wall. We don't have that many walls, but we have a wall of fame or a hall of fame dedicated to people who have served for over 3 decades in this school. And we have around 15 people who have so far been inducted into this hall of fame. And we have 2 people here tonight who we had a hard time getting into the building, but they're here. So you brought them out, and I would like to ask them to please come up so we can formally welcome them to the SAR Hall of Fame. Please come up, Millie Rosner and Marcia Jacobowitz. Where's Millie? Take your time, it's okay. 127, when Mrs. Rosner called, everyone listened. Millie taught us the meaning of care for each other, always reminding us, FF, family first. She led with professionalism, love, dedication, pushing students and staff to reach higher while always leading by example. Joined SAR in 1975, is that correct? Thank you very much. This is your copy for your home, and we're going to put... Marcia, if you would have known, you wouldn't have come. That's why you didn't know. Toda rabah to Marcia Jacobowitz. In the embrace of Marcia Jacobowitz, our beloved early childhood director, children found not only education, but a sanctuary of love and wisdom where her dedication to nurturing souls and instilling Torah values echoes eternally through SAR's halls. Joined SAR 1970.
Yes! Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Wow, great to have you back, Marcia and Millie, and to be here for this wonderful occasion. But tonight, we're here to talk about people who really spent a lot of time here. We had a beautiful and meaningful Chanukah Habayit about an hour ago, where we dedicated the new space that our 8th graders this year thought they would occupy, but only took a couple of finals in, but we're very excited about that space. But with the permission of those who were there, I'd just like to repeat one thing, which is that I opened that dedication saying that this place is not about a building, but it's about people. And it's centered around people, and it's great because of people. Our buildings are very important. I think our buildings are unique and make a huge difference. But it is the people who come into this building every day that make this place what it is. It is hard to describe the impact that people, no crying, the last time, that people can have over a combined 126 years in an institution. So tonight, people from different generations, beautifully and remarkably, people that some of us haven't seen in quite some time, have come out to express our hakarat hatov for teaching, but literally thousands and thousands of students. Students who remember their experiences in your classrooms, and as you will hear, students who testify that the experiences they had in your classrooms and the love they received from you made a difference in their lives. So that's the biggest bracha we can ask for. And our bracha to you collectively tonight is that you feel that connection, that you wake up every morning wherever you are, and you feel that sipuk, you feel that sense of accomplishment which you deserve. You wake up a little bit later, and you know that this place, with all of its old spaces and new spaces, will be your family and will always be your home. So please join me in thanking Morot, Marilyn, Gordon, Morot, Gaby, Zeddy, and Morot, Rena Rossman. We're very much focused inward in terms of this, but our hearts and our minds are appropriately elsewhere. And we continue to think of Medinat Yisrael at this precarious time and at this hopeful time, where the young people that you nurtured, some of them, are involved in making Medinat Yisrael, Am Yisrael, and the world a safer place tomorrow. They should be well, they should be safe. Hostages should be returned. And we ask you all to keep our Chayalim and the citizens of Medinat Yisrael in your tefillah. In this week's Parsha, when the Meraglim, when the 2 Meraglim failed to convince the 10 Meraglim to do the right thing, the response was that it's going to take a generation to fix this problem. 40 years it's going to take to find a new crop of people who are worthy to go into Eretz Yisrael. So the number 40, when you get past 40, you're talking about literally shaping a generation of people, and not just in this community, but in communities around the world, here in Medinat Yisrael and elsewhere. This school, as we spoke about a lot this year, quoting our founder, Rabbi Greenberg, is about recognizing the Tzelem Elohim, the divine spark within each child. We'll speak about you individually in a moment, but looking at the 3 of you, knowing that that's exactly who you are, that's exactly how you function, and that didn't stop after 15 years, or 25 years, or 35 years. It didn't stop when you switched departments. That enthusiasm and that ability to see their divine spark never stopped. You embody the mission of this place. You have always embodied the mission of this place. You are not only teachers to your students, you're teachers to your colleagues, you're teachers to your friends, by the way you carry yourselves, and by the incredible love and passion that you have for the people around you. Marilyn, how you doing? You have the rare gift of reaching every learner. You have focused so much of your time on helping children learn through their challenges, loving reading, loving math, bringing out the humor and the joy in each child, caring deeply about what you're doing, and making sure that everybody can be happy and successful in school. Short words, but no, you're not getting up yet. You can't get up. You're not getting up for a while. Please direct your attention to the screen so some of those people would like to speak.
Marilyn is the kind of teacher that regardless of what she's teaching, she finds a way to connect it to the child.
She takes everything in stride and she does everything with a smile.
Marilyn just knows. She knows what the right thing to do is, and she's there for you.
She was always just on top of her students and on top of her curriculum.
Only Marilyn would pick up the phone at all hours of the night to help talk something through. The one thing with Marilyn is each kid is sort of taught what they need and how they need it from her. Marilyn will find various strategies. She'll bring out different sources and different ways of teaching the kids how to be successful and how to make it to that next step. Marilyn really just cares about each one of the students, and she's willing to go the extra mile if that's what it takes.
Her students are often the ones that need a little more extra help, and she has always just shown patience and the time and the care that you need to, and the differentiation that you need to do with our students.
She wasn't a classroom teacher, so it's not like she met with 20, 30 kids at a time, but she would meet with one kid, one-on-one, and I think there are so many kids who are walking around now who owe so much to my mom for that attention that she gave. She was so loving to the kids that I think that's there's going to be those kids who will always remember her. It was such a different connection because it was so personal.
Every week, twice a week, Marilyn would clear out her own office for really the student, but for me as well, to work, and she would make sure that there was a comfortable place for the student and for myself to learn together. And I think that child's growth can definitely be attributed to Marilyn creating a space for all children to grow and to learn.
Marilyn made me feel so seen and loved and cared for, and I'll never forget.
We have good times and been through the bad times together. SAR's loss is my gain.
In camp once, I had a counselor who, when he found out I went to SAR, I said, "Oh, you must know my grandmother." And it was like, no, your mom is the one who I remember. You have no idea how much your mom helped me.
She kind of has this persona of being the great Savta, where she just takes everybody in. She's there if you need a vent about something, and she offers very unbiased advice if you want it. How appropriate that she's raised generations of children to embody values that she stands for.
Marilyn helped my kids both academically, helped me personally. We're so grateful and we're so proud of your commitment to SAR, to the students over the years, and to all of us.
Marilyn is so humble. Everything that Marilyn does, she does quietly, and she does it with so much discretion and thought and care. Coming to SAR every day and knowing that I was going to be able to share my day with an incredible mentor, colleague, and friend is what made coming to SAR every day such a joy.
SAR has been a very special place for my entire family.
Marilyn is going to leave behind her area. It will always be Marilyn's area. Whenever we need to send a kid out of our classroom, we will always say, go to more Marilyn's area.
We're so proud of all of your commitment to SAR, and we just love you and are excited for this next stage in your life.
I'm gonna miss seeing you every day, but I don't think that this is the end.
You're like my school Savta, and you're irreplaceable.
Ever since we moved here, my kids' reading has gone totally down the drain. Maybe you could just come here once a week to tutor them.
My bracha to you is that as you enter this next stage of your life, you continue to share the gifts, the sensitivity, the love, the caring with your family, with your friends in good health for many years to come.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here, and I thank you all for being my family over the years.
It's such a privilege to be here alongside so many of you to share our Hakarat HaTov to Morot Marilyn for the lasting impact that she's had on our son's personal growth and education. When our boys arrived at SAR, still very much in the thick of the pandemic, they were coming from a charter school that was fully remote for the second year. As they settled into their new environment, Morot Marilyn's Nook became their home away from home, a place they could always go to find support. Her willingness to go over concepts multiple times, Her adaptability in working with our sons and her genuine interest in their ideas made a profound difference in their learning journeys. We particularly appreciate how she took the time to nurture their skills. Whenever Max receives a compliment on his beautiful handwriting, he immediately credits Morot Marilyn for helping him achieve this goal, a testament to her dedication and attention to detail. It's wonderful to see how Morot Marilyn's approach to teaching has had such a huge impact on our son's growth and many other students as well. We're truly grateful for her influence and appreciate the effort she has put into shaping young minds. Thank you, Morot Marilyn, for your many years of service to the SAR community.
Yeah, I want to speak now.
You can go for it. I'll hold it.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay, I hope I can do this. Thank you all so much for being here. First, a big thank you to Atara Douglas and her committee who made this evening so special. As I stand here tonight, I find myself filled with gratitude. After 40 plus years of teaching, it's hard to believe that I'm saying goodbye to a job I loved. This is also an end of an era of having a Levine or a Gordon being part of the SAR. As some of you know, my mother, Lily Levine, first worked in Akiva and then at SAR. My brother and I went to Akiva, and my younger brother graduated from SAR. Dov and Yehuda, my two sons, were graduated from SAR. I am so thankful that my mother, siblings, and sons were all part of this beautiful SAR family. I want to thank the administration for all their support over these years and giving me the space to grow. To my fellow teachers, you have been my second family. Through the years, we have shared lesson plans, laughter, tears, and countless memories. You supported me more than you know, and I am always thankful to have worked alongside such passionate, caring people. And to my students, you are the reason I showed up every day. I watched you grow, and I'm so proud of all that you have accomplished. As I step into retirement and many trips to California, I hope, to spend time with my grandchildren, I want to thank you all for making these years so wonderful. I will miss you all very, very much.
Neither of us were here when you started, but.
Right, that's.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it?
Two things?
I'll help you out. Two things.
Oh, boy.
42 years, you get two things.
I get two things.
Nice. So you talk about learning something new every day about people. We had a faculty appreciation dinner or event last night at a bowling alley, and we went bowling. Took teachers bowling. Who do you think was by far? First of all, who do you think was the only person who brought their own bowling ball and their own shoes? Rena Rossman. Did you know this? And I was impressed. I grew up in St. Louis. There was nothing to do besides bowling. It was like 3 games for $1 on Sunday. So I thought I was pretty good. I got like a 145 the first game. And then Rena got a 171. And then, I learned this all yesterday. And then she showed us a picture of the Stern College Stern College YU bowling team that she was a member of more than 42 years ago. So I knew this before, but it was certainly demonstrated again last night that this is a remarkable person who's got lots of different things going on in her life. And I think what we try to do, especially with our young children, really with everybody, but especially with our young children, is we try to get them to ask questions. We try to show them that their questions matter. And we try to allow them the space to come up with their own answers to those questions. Rena Rossman does that in her life, and she does that in her teaching, and she's done that in her teaching. And like I said before, until the last moment. So the questions are still coming. I still don't know any of the answers that your kids come with. And we are so grateful to you and for all that you have brought, again, to generations and thousands of our students. Please direct your attention to the screen.
If I had to characterize Rena, I would describe her as a human hug. Like if you pictured what a hug would look like if it was human, it would be Rena Rossman.
The first time I lost a tooth, she was able to help me get cleaned up, and then she put like my tooth in the little treasure chest. She made me feel so safe and special.
One of my favorite pictures is of my son Svi when he was 4 years old in Rena's class, and he is an Israeli flag. That picture typifies what my children learned with Rena. They learned that every tefillah, every iota of love for Israel is meant to become part of who they are.
She just embodies everything you want as a teacher for your child. The Gan Geffen Chala that we all know is because of her. I mean, you don't mess with Rena Rossman and teaching Parsha.
Rena sees right through the child. Rena sees right to the neshama of the child. She teaches Parsha with her full heart, and I think that it became about just teaching Parsha just within every minute of the day.
She's taught 3 generations of students. She's not only taught grandparents, she's taught parents, and now their children. There's such a feeling of love and warmth and understanding that Rena's able to give.
Rena is such a value-driven person. Each child has to be their own best self.
Rena's care for individual people is second to none, and always connecting it back to Hashem, back to Torah, and of course, back to Israel.
She knows everything about me, but will never tell. Her insight borders on prophecy, and though it can be startling, it always feels like comfort.
Rena, this is a dream you have had for years. I couldn't be happier and more excited for you. SAR will miss you, but it is shaped by all you have given it.
You literally are the pillar and foundation of everything that's awesome about the ELC. I am so internally grateful to you for everything you have taught me as a mom, as a teacher, as a friend, as a human.
Rena, a model for generations of Nishamot. With her light of goodness, she rises again and again and yet again, soaring now into her dream of ascent.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michelle. And it's hard to put into words what it means to be standing here tonight, though I don't want to. Speaking on behalf of so many of who have been touched by Rena's presence in their lives, I've had the rare honor of having known Rena for over 35 years through 3 different and unique lenses. First, as her student, then as the parent of 2 of her students, and then as her colleague. And in each of these roles, I've had the privilege of seeing the incredible impact Rena has on those around her. Rena was my teacher when I was just 4 years old. Even then, she radiated warmth and joy, the kind that makes you feel safe and cherished and excited to come to school each day, like I was. What I remember most is how much more Rena truly loved being with us. She made us feel connected to Hashem, taught us so much about davening, and even remember coming to the big building shul for Parsha with Rabbi Falls. I especially looked forward to making challah together on Friday, something I've reinstituted in my own class now, drawing on my fond memories of it as a child. Rena played games with us and always offered us a hug when we needed it. Rena made every child feel seen, known, and loved. For those of us lucky enough to be in her classroom, she gave us more than a strong start. She gave us a second home. Years later, just about like 11 or 3 years ago, I had the profound joy of watching Rena be the Morot of my 2 children. Being a parent in her class opened my eyes even further to the amazing qualities Rena brings to the classroom. She nurtured their curiosity, celebrated their individuality, and helped them grow into curious, kind, and confident learners. I saw the same warmth and patience and playfulness that I had once experienced as her student, now extended to my children. Even more deeply, she gave them something truly lasting, a pride in their Jewish identity, a love of davening, and a strong foundation in Torah knowledge. She didn't just teach tefillah, she helped them feel it. She didn't just tell Torah stories, she helped them connect to Torah as their story. Her love for Eretz Yisrael and the Chayalim was ever present, woven into conversations, stories, and tefillot, helping our children understand that the land and people of Israel are central to who we are. Rena gave them a beautiful and solid beginning for their Torah journey, and for that, I'm endlessly grateful. And finally, I've had the true pleasure of working alongside no longer Rena, now Rena, both as a floater in kindergarten and in 4-year nursery. As a colleague, she's everything you hope for. Reliable, thoughtful, full of heart, and always, always willing to help. She shares helpful advice with kindness, brings laughter when it's needed, and is always there to support those around her. Rena's full of life, love, care, and joy. Don't let the snoot fool you. When Rena's around, you're in for a good, maybe even drunk time. Remember those late night Zooms and cocktail parties in the middle of in-service? She truly brings laughter, energy, and heart to everything she does. She also knows how to be present with others in the most meaningful ways, offering the perfect word when you need them, a warm hug when the day's been tough, or advice that is always exactly what you need to hear. And yes, she's always early, always. Rena defines punctuality. As a proud Yaki, she treats timeliness as a virtue, and we should have all learned by now to set our clocks by her. Sorry, we are always late, but maybe we're not so late and we're just on time, I don't know. Her t-shirt collection alone could tell the story of her devotion, each one tied to SAR, to her students, to teaching, to Israel, and most recently, to her next chapter, retirement. Her shirts, like her presence, always carry meaning. And we would be remiss not to mention the devotion and care she has shown her family, the way she lovingly and faithfully cared for her father-in-law, Zichrono Livracha, over so many years, spoke volumes about who she is at her core. Someone who gives fully, who honors deeply, and who shows up consistently with love. Now, she and Michael are heading into a dream they've held close for a long time, making Aliyah and joining their ever-growing Kenai Nahara family in Israel. They, please God, will be making Aliyah and will finally go home to Israel to be greeted by children, grandchildren, her father, sisters, their families, and of course to the many, many former students and lifelong Rena fans already awaiting there for you. Rena, we will miss you more than we can ever express. Your mark is everywhere, even in our new building, in the hearts of your students, in the growth of your colleagues, and in the soul of this community. You've shaped generations and generations of students, and your legacy continues to live on. Wishing you nothing but the best that life and the lands that you hold so close to your heart have to offer. May your days be filled with joy, nachas, and continued purpose, surrounded by the people that you love in the place you love most, other than SAR. With love.
Okay, same thing, I'll hold it.
Thank you. Oh, God. Before I speak, I would like to thank Atara Douglas and the team who created this beautiful event and made tonight possible. Wow, I'm 64 years old and I've worked at SAR for 42 of them. I may not be a mathematician, but that's most of my life. I came to SAR as a single young woman, fresh out of college. I leave as a wife, a mother, and a savta to 21 plus. What a journey. People keep asking how I'm feeling these days. Honestly, it's complicated. I'm leaving my home, my SAR family, my friends, my world as I've known it for decades. But I'm also going to my home, to my family, to my future, to new beginnings with my wonderful husband, Michael. We've been truly blessed in so many ways. When I walked into the ELC over 40 years ago, the very first person that I saw was Mora Ilsa, my soon-to-be future mother-in-law, Zichrona Livracha. I introduced myself and she looked at me and said in her unforgettable voice, "Rena, you will take this job." Little did I know that she had already decided that I would be marrying her son Michael and that this would become my lifelong community. From that day on, SAR wasn't just a job, it was my home. We all know the famous pasuk from Kohelet, L'chol zman va'et tachat hashamayim, to everything there is a time underneath the sky. There is eit le'ehov, a time to love, and I have truly, truly loved being here. I have loved my students and their families, many of whom have grown up to be my colleagues and dear friends. I have loved my colleagues. The ELC staff is one big happy family. But it's not just the ELC. I've been lucky to work with incredible people throughout the academy. SAR is full of generous, dedicated, passionate educators, and it's been an honor to work among all of them. And to my past and present coworkers and colleagues, I can't believe how many of them are here tonight. Thank you for being such a special part of my journey. Your presence means the world to me. And yes, I have even loved the administration. I promised myself I wouldn't name names, it's too risky, but I will say that the administrators I've worked with, both in the big building and the ELC, have been nothing short of incredible. I also want to express hakarat hatov to the principals and ELC directors, past and present, who have led with such vision, warmth, and support. Over the years, they have guided this school and guided me with genuine care. I'll never forget when my mother passed away 12 years ago, and I was sitting Shiva in Israel. All three principals that I had served under, Rabbi Fuld, Rabbi Kolb, and Rabbi Krause, came to comfort me. Two of them were already living there, but Rabbi Krause had just gotten off the plane. It was Erev Shabbat, and he came straight from the airport to be with me. That moment stayed with me. That kind of leadership, that kind of chesed is rare, and it speaks volumes about what SAR really is. To be retiring alongside Morot Gaby and Morot Marilyn is a true zechut. I had the joy of teaching both of their children, and they both taught mine. That kind of full circle is rare and so special. I'm shaking, sorry, I'm almost done. To my family and friends who came out tonight, thank you. Your love and support mean everything to me. I'll miss you all, except maybe Yona, who just got stuck here because he came for tonight, who lives in Israel and whom I'll soon hopefully get to see all of the time. And yes, Josh will come visit you too. Michael and I will be living in the apartments next to the Zayat Mall in Efrat, a location that's so easy to remember. So we look forward to visits from students, staff, friends. Everybody is welcome. Back to Kohelet. There is Eit Milchama. There is also a time for war, and heartbreakingly that is now. But the pasuk continues, Ve'et Shalom, and a time for peace. May we all be zoche to see that time very soon. Amen. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
First of all, you're a great teacher. You know, I told Yona, I asked Yona if he's stuck here. He said, we're all stuck here. Didn't miss a beat. How can I tell Gaby not to cry if everyone else in the room is crying? Sharon Sturm, you'll fact check me. But I think I was teaching the Yeshiva Flatbush 29 around years ago. And there was a thing called the BJE. And the BJE had like a teacher's seminar, basically a free trip to Israel in the summer for teachers. And I went on a really fun trip with Sharon Sturm and Gaby Zevi, who turns out was like a relatively new teacher in SR, only been for 13 years at the time. And that was my first exposure to a very special person who loved life and loved kids and loved teaching and loved education. When I came here a few years later, we met again and we were excited to reconnect. And my experiences with Gaby over these years have been exactly that. Fun, meaningful, so much love for kids and for this place. And then around 6 years ago, we had a conversation, and it was basically, we have kids in the middle school who are not learning Hebrew with the teachers that we're giving them. And it was a little bit of a crazy idea, but we said, we think that they need you. And you thought that that was a crazy idea. And then you did it. So somebody after 36 years of teaching, first graders and third graders shows up in the middle school and does it. And doesn't just do it, but becomes a leader and a role model for her colleagues. Does get a classroom, which is unusual. But just another one of the amazing things and the special things about you that we will so very miss.
Gaby Zevi.
And how long have you been teaching at SAR?
השנה ה-42 שלי.
You walk down the street and you hear Savta, Savta. I remember as a little kid thinking, that's my Savta. Why is everybody calling her that?
All my friends growing up had my Savta, Morot Gaby, as their favorite teacher.
Once you were a student at Morot Gaby, you were always a student at Morot Gaby.
It's not uncommon for us to go out and run across an SAR student of hers, and she remembers almost everyone's name.
Gaby just has this amazing ability to take care of everyone around her.
It was always that warm welcome, that good morning, that hello.
She taught all of her kids as if they were her grandchildren, as if they were her family, and she loved them all.
When I think of my Savta, I think of SAR.
The most fundamental tenet of SAR is to see the value in every child.
Morot Gaby represents everything that SAR stands for. She loves this community, and she loves seeing the growth of her students over the years.
Gaby is the kind of teacher who holds a first grader's hand when they're not ready to go up on the stage for the Misibat HaSidur. And she feels so joyous and comfortable about it that so does the child. And then that child can grow up and become a public speaker because of the way Gaby so lovingly held their hand.
Gaby has endless patience. I always say that Gaby could teach a horse to speak Hebrew.
She brings herself to the class, to the students. She has her own method of how to hook them and how to have them engaged, even if it's not easy for them.
To have Morot Gaby say, hey, you're going to be able to do this, you're going to learn this. Yes, she was very, very sweet, but she also had a very matter-of-fact way of like, you got to know this. She just gave me so much confidence that I could do well in the Judaic studies aspect of school. It was awesome.
She's just such a consummate teacher, such a loving, kind, inclusive person that kids feel comfortable with her, and it's just such a lot to learn from her.
I think she was offered to retire so early, and she was like, what do you mean retire?
God, she loves this place. She loves this place. Only my Savta would wake up and look forward to going to school and teaching and living and breathing SAR the way she does.
She's been here longer than I've been alive, and she's seen all the different transitions. I think it speaks to the institution of SAR, but also to the person she is. That relationship works both ways, where you're wanted and you want to be here.
She taught me that everyone deserves a chance, and that you should never judge before you know someone.
What I've learned from her is to always be thankful. I think that she's very happy with everything that she has. She does not take anything for granted.
Gaby taught me so many lessons. At the top of that list is to love children unconditionally.
She really unknowingly shaped the way that I expect my own child and my students to behave.
Safta, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of everything you've done here and what you continue to do and the impact you've made on everybody's lives.
You are a walking, living, breathing model for all of us of what it is to believe in children.
Wow, like I wish every educator could be like you.
I'm going to try to make it through this. It's such an honor to be here with all of you and with all of you. So many of you in this room have held our family through a lot of difficult things. My name is Lamel Ryman, for those of you who don't know. Morot Gaby. Also, I want to say before I start that I'm not going to be able to do what some of the others have done, of give the whole scope of your incredible career and everything you've been through, everything the school's been through under your, as you've been part of the community. I'm going to go deep and talk about the way that you touched our family in the very beginning of knowing you. Morot Gaby, you're a legend, both in our family and at SAR. Over the years, you've helped every Ryman, parent and child, whether or not they were lucky enough to be your student, feel loved, supported, encouraged, and embraced. This has been true for our family even in extreme circumstances. Our oldest daughter, Neshama, just finished her first year of college. When she was in first grade, she was undergoing the end of her treatment for stage 4 cancer. She had missed most of kindergarten, and she was worried about being away from us and attending school in the big building because she didn't have any hair, and there would be so many new kids who didn't know her story. Not only that, but she still needed 6 cycles of chemo on an outpatient basis. But none of that fazed Morot Gaby. She saw Neshama as a regular first grader who needed love and security and warmth, as well as a foundation in learning. Chemo in the classroom with the nurse and without parents, no problem. It was a year of tremendous growth for Neshama, and Morot Gaby was a huge part of it. But not only did Morot Gaby help Neshama to get through the end of her treatment while feeling like a more or less normal first grader, but she went the extra mile to spend special time with our second oldest child, Aaliyah, who was 2 years old at the time and is now going into 11th grade at SAR High School. Even then, Morot Gaby insisted on having a special date with Aaliyah to help her feel included because she saw that her big sister was getting showered with a lot of attention. The same was true when Aaliyah was Morot Gaby's first grade student and Neshama was undergoing reconstructive surgeries. Her attention to not only the whole child, but the whole family truly encapsulates the values of SAR. When other SAR families would ask about how we managed to get through Neshama's first grade year, it was always followed by a knowing look and, oh, Morot Gaby. Of course you had Morot Gaby. Like a secret, but yet not secret code of love and admiration for her unique gifts. Morot Gaby, SAR won't be the same without you, but you will always be part of our family's story and a model of the warmth and kindness we all hope to bring into the world. We love you.
Okay, I have no paper.
Yeah, but you need a microphone. You don't need a paper. You need
I don't think so.
You do.
Maybe I shouldn't. Sorry, Rabbi Hartzak. I spoke at graduation, and when Rabbi Kraft said to me that he wants me to speak, I said, okay, but then I'm not going to speak at the party. I'm not a public speaker. I have so many feelings and so much thankfulness in my heart that even if I would have written down what I want to say, I probably wouldn't read it. I'm looking around and I have a story and a memory with each one of you that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. I came here when I was 31 with 3 little girls, and just like Rena said, I am leaving with 11 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren that I love and adore, and many, 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 many children that I love and adore from SAR. I appreciate all of you that you came. I really, from the bottom of my heart. But my family, my kids, grandkids, and great-granddaughters, and my students, right, Aaron? I definitely appreciate the most. Please forgive me. I want to thank all of you for 42 years of waking up in the morning and smiling because I knew that I'm coming to SAR, for the very difficult times that I had, and I would drive to school in a longer way when tears were falling from my eyes, and then I opened the door of this very special place with the biggest neshama, and everything was behind me. It was all over. Everything was great in the world. I knew that people cared, that I'm being taken care of, and it was the best feeling in the world. I can never thank all of you, the administration, my colleagues, my family. Just in case you didn't know, this place has the biggest neshama, and the people here are very, very special. I'm gonna miss each one of you. I love you. I love my students so very much. I'm just the luckiest person. It's all I have to say. So my family and my family, thank you for everything, and please come to visit as I am making my way to Israel. I say that if I'm not here, then I have to go to Israel. I just want to squeeze in a story about Neshama and my other very beloved student, Scott Murdler. I was sitting in the corner cafe for dinner, and Neshama was in first grade, and I got a text message with a picture of Scott, Dr. Murdler, and Neshama. He was her doctor, and it said Morot Gaby's biggest fans, with the 2 pictures as my Scott is taking care of my Neshama. I have no words. So thank you for everything. Thank you.
We got Jane.
Thank you.
We got Morot.
Don't know what to say after all of that, but I do want to close. It's an opportunity for me to express Hakarat Tov to these 3 amazing educators. I can do that from the parent side, and there's a lot to say on that front. But I have to express a particular Hakarat Tov on my own behalf. It's 30 30 plus years when I came to SAR. I was not a student of the three of you in first grade or in third grade or in 4-year-old nursery, but I was totally a student of yours coming into this institution. I came as basically a kid to take on a role in front of basically superhero educators. And you had every reason to say, what are you doing here? And you expressed love and kindness and openness. You know, when I went into Gaby's third grade class to try to do some chazara on the Parshat Chayei Sarah, I felt like I was it's like, how am I going to do this in front of Gaby? It was like, she's the pro, and I went to the Yeshiva of Eastern Parkway. And you so calmly and kindly just pumped me up all the time. And the same is true for all of you. And as Mora Eli is now Mora Eli after being in your class. It's just the most inspiring and beautiful thing in the world. So on behalf of our family, but I also really personally want to express, because it says the entire world about who you are as people, that you support everybody in every capacity, wherever it is, to be able to bring out the best in them. And we're very grateful. And I would say that our responsibility at this point is your spirit, which is the spirit of SAR. We carry on our shoulders the responsibility of carrying that through and passing that on to future kids and generations. Thank you for everything you've done.
I'm going to allow us all now, a lot of people want to express their personal thoughts, so I'm going to allow us to mingle and to do that. I want to thank Kayla Weil. I want to thank Natalia Douglas. I want to thank Melissa Walker. Natara, you've been very busy this week, lots of parties this week, and really, it's amazing what you do, and really take the neshama of this place. Gaby says thank you. Thank you very, very much for doing that. Thank you to Randy for making sure that everything that we have is recorded, and the videos are also part of Randy's work, so he does both sides of this. Thank you to Alex, who just walked out. Thank you, Alex and Damien. They've been working overtime this week. Thank you to Nick and to his team. Thank you all for coming. Most of our students daven mincha before plug, so we're going to have a Marav minyan in about 7 minutes in the Beit Knesset, which is before Shkia, but after plug mincha, so this is on purpose. So please join us if you can for Ma'ariv. The last thing I'll say is that we've known this, but it was just reinforced, and I'm looking around the room again and seeing people, and we can't get you guys, some people, we can't get to the building for anything. In like 15 years, I'm not going to name names, but wow. That's just a testament to who you are and how high you have set the bar. And you know, like you echo what Hartsteck said, hopefully we can just not mess it up. Thanks a lot.